Thank you for trying ProjectOn. This video will show you the ins and outs of using this program. Assuming you've already downloaded the installer, let's install ProjectOn. Locate the installer and double-click it. First, it will ask you if you would like to install ProjectOn for all users or just for yourself. We'll install it for all users. You'll be greeted with a prompt to accept the license. The program is licensed as free and open source under the GNU General Public License version 3. Click I accept the agreement, and then click Next. It will then confirm where it is going to install the program. The default is fine. Click Next. Then you will be asked if you'd like to create a shortcut to ProjectOn on your desktop. We'll go ahead and check that. And hit Next. Now we'll see a confirmation of the options that we've chosen. Click Install. After the files are installed, it will ask you if you'd like to view the README file and if you would like to launch the program. We'll leave both of these selected. Click Finish. The README file contains some useful information that will get you started in using ProjectOn. And now the main ProjectOn window appears. If you already have a second monitor connected to the computer you installed ProjectOn on, the display screen will show on that monitor. Now, maybe the best way to introduce you to ProjectOn is to walk you through building a service. When you first install ProjectOn, a few samples of media come pre-installed. We'll just use those to build our service. Down in the lower left corner is the media box. It is here where you can find the various types of media you can add to your service. The first tab is Songs, the lyrics to songs you might use in your service. The next is where you can add Bible passages. Then Custom Slides, which are single slides with whatever text you want them to show. Images are full screen images you may want to show during your service. Videos, and then Web Slides, which are special slides which will display a web page of your choosing. Let's first add a song. We'll select the Songs tab, which will display a list of the songs that are currently stored in ProjectOn. To add a song, click once on the song you would like to add, and then click on this Add to Service button. Alternatively, you can double-click to add a song to the service, or you can drag the song into the Order of Service box. Once you have many songs stored in ProjectOn, you'll find that the search box is pretty handy. It will filter your list to only show the words that you type in. Click this X icon to clear the search bar. Now we'll add a Bible passage. Clicking on the Bible tab, you'll see that the King James Version is already installed. Let's say we want to add John 3:14-20 to the service. We'll type that into where it says Enter Passage. Common abbreviation for books of the Bible also work when entering a passage. Now that the passage is entered, you can see that it appears in the box below. To add it to your service, click the Add this passage to the service icon. Adding a custom slide to the service works exactly the same as adding a song. And don't worry, we'll get in how to add songs and custom slides and how to edit them later in the video. So I'm just going to double-click Benediction to add it to the service. You'll notice that as we add items by double-clicking or clicking the icon, they are automatically added to the bottom of the list. If we want to add an item to a specific spot in the list, this is where dragging comes in handy. Next, we'll add an image, which works exactly the same as adding a song or a custom slide. Same with adding a video. And finally, we'll add a web slide. Now, I want to move these items around and change the order that they'll appear in. So let's drag the items in the order of service box to reorder them. Alternatively, we can select an item and use these up and down arrows to move it. Now that I've got the service the way I want it, we can click on this save icon, which will bring up a file browser where we can give our file a name and tell it where to save to. We'll call our file service 2024-08-09. And we'll save it to our desktop. You'll see a confirmation that the file has been saved and where it was saved to. And now that it's saved, it can be loaded back up later. Now you also have the ability to choose the default slide background for your songs and for your Bible passages. By clicking this drop-down menu, you can make it so that all of the songs in your service use the green clouds background. You'll see that we've changed that, and now they all appear changed in your order of service. And by clicking this drop-down menu, you can make it so that all the Bible passages use the gold arcs background. Later in the video, we'll walk through adding your own backgrounds. You can also set the font face, size, and style for all slides by clicking this font button. In the box that appears, you can choose the font face from the list on the left. Next, at the top, you can set the size of your font. Under that, you can choose the main color of your font, white, black, or a custom color of your choosing. Under that, you can select whether to add a shadow to your font or not, as well as the shade and the offset of the font. The offset being how far away from the letters the shadow is. Finally, you can choose whether your font should be outlined and the shade and width of that outline. Click the font button again to close the pop-up. Be sure to hit save again so that your background and font changes get saved with the service. Now that you have your service put together, let's see what things you can do to run the service. All of the parts of the service are right here in your order of service box, in the order in which they'll be displayed. If anything is out of order, simply drag them to where they should be. To set an order of service item to live, that is, to make that item appear on the projector, either double-click an item or select an item and press the space bar. This will send that item to the live panel. You'll notice that the preview panel is now showing the next item in the order of service. To walk through the items in your order of service, use the down arrow key. The down arrow will change the display to the next item in your order of service, or, in the case of a song or Bible passage, the next words of that item. To go back, press the up arrow. To move through each item in the order of service without going through each part of a song or Bible verse, use the left and right arrows. Left will go to the previous item in your order of service. Right will go to the next. To jump to a specific item in your order of service, simply double-click that item or select the item and hit the space bar. Either method will immediately send that item to live. Or if you need to jump to a specific verse of a song, select that song, select the verse in your preview pane, and hit the space bar. Or double-click it. This prevents you from having to scroll through all the verses if you need to get to one specific verse. In the upper right-hand corner of the screen, there are 3 special display buttons. This first one will hide the display screen and show the desktop. Click it once to show the desktop, then click it again to cause the display screen to show once more. The middle button will blank the display screen. Click it once to black the screen, and then click it again to show the display screen. Finally, this button will show your logo image. Again, click it once to show the logo, and then click it again to show the display screen. If any of these are activated, sending an item to live will deactivate it and show the display screen instead. If you need to show an item that isn't currently in your order of service, you can use this lightning bolt icon. So let's say we need to show the song "To God Be the Glory" right away. Click here to select it and click the lightning bolt. "To God Be the Glory" will be placed in the live window and will be showing on the screen. Now, let's walk through adding a song to ProjectOn. Let's say I want to add the hymn "Holy, Holy, Holy" to the service. We'll click on the Songs tab of the media box, and then click the green plus sign to add a song. At the top of the window are areas where you can add information about the song, the title and author, and then copyright information and CCLI song number, if applicable. Beneath this is the area where you can add your lyrics for the song. To the right is where you can set the order of verses, choruses, bridges, and all of that for your song. You'll see that some basic formatting can be used for your song if you'd like: bold, italic, and underline. So for the song title, I'm going to type in "Holy, Holy, Holy." Then for the author, I'll type in Reginald Heber. Now, I could type in all the lyrics by hand, but I found these lyrics online, so I'm just going to copy and paste them here. I don't need these verse numbers, so I'm just simply going to delete them. Now, the song is pretty straightforward. There are no choruses to be repeated, and it just goes from one verse to the next. That being the case, we don't even need to worry about labeling verses and choruses or anything. If we simply add a blank line between each verse, the program will know to split the hymn up accordingly. So, we'll click on the Save button to save the song, and you'll see that it appears in our song list. We'll click it once and you can see it in the preview that it is showing verse 1, then verse 2, verse 3, verse 4. Next, let's add a song that has multiple verses, a repeated chorus, and a bridge. For that, we'll use "Magnificent, Marvelous, Matchless Love" by the Gettys and others. So far, I've entered in all the song's information and the lyrics are here, but they're not yet in the correct order. In order to get them into the correct order, we could copy and paste everything into the right order, but there's a better way to do this by using tags, meaning we can label each part to be a verse or a chorus or a bridge, etc. This here is the first verse. We'll want our tags to be at the beginning of their text, kind of like a title. So I'll click at the beginning of this text, and then click the verse tag button down here at the bottom of the window. This adds a verse 1 tag to this paragraph. I'll do the same thing to verse 2. And this one here is verse 3. And I'll also tag the chorus and the bridge. With that done, you'll see that all of those tags are now in the segments box of this window. By dragging these into the song order box, we can make the song display all of its parts in the correct order, which for this song is verse 1, followed by verse 2, and the chorus, followed by verse 3, and the chorus again, followed by the bridge, and finally the chorus twice. Now we'll hit save, Now the song is in our songs list, and if we click on it, we can see that it is now in the correct order. Verse 1 followed by verse 2, then the chorus, and then verse 3, the chorus again, bridge, and then the chorus twice. Now there's a good chance that you use a different version of the Bible for your worship services. In that case, you can import an XML Bible into ProjectOn. Specifically, you need to use the Zephaniah XML Bible format. In order to find one of those, I found PH4's collection to be particularly helpful. Do a Google search for Zephaniah XML Bible. Then click the link to ph4.org. Let's say I want to add the NASB to my program. I'm going to type NASB into the search area here and hit enter. If you see the Z icon, then that version can be downloaded as a Zephaniah XML Bible. I'll click that Z icon and the download starts. I'll double click to open the zip file. Then I'll drag the Bible file to somewhere I can find it easily, like my desktop. Going back to the program, I'll click on the Tools menu and choose Import XML Bible. A file browser will open where I can locate the Bible file. I select it and then click Open. It will then ask if I want this to be my default Bible, and I do, so I'll click Yes. Sometimes the XML Bible's file name for the Bible can be strange, so you'll be given the chance to give your imported Bible a different name. Now you can see that my new Bible now shows up, and I can enter in a passage and it will bring up that passage in the NASB's text. Adding a custom slide to ProjectOn is very similar to adding a song, except there's no verses or choruses to worry about. So here again, I'll click the green plus icon, and that brings up our slide editor. Let's give the slide a title, say Potluck Announcement. Then where it says lyrics here, I'll put in the text of my slide. I want Potluck Sunday to be bold and underlined, so I'll select that and click bold and underline. Now a custom slide will default to using the global song background and the global font. To change this, I'll click on Advanced Options. I'll check the box beside Override Global Settings. And I'll pick a font that I want. For the background, I can have you use the global song background, the global Bible background, a solid color of my choosing, or a specific image. I'll choose an image. Let's make it cross cloud. With all that set, I'm going to save. And there you can see our new custom slide. Images are simple to add. Click the green plus icon, and a file browser will open where you can locate the image you want to add. I'll select the image and click Open. And the image is now in ProjectOn. By the way, for any of the songs, custom slides, images, videos, or web slides, you can right-click them and select Remove to remove them from ProjectOn. It'll ask for confirmation, and I'll click Yes. Adding a video is similar to adding an image. Click the green plus sign and locate the video file that you want to add. It will take a moment to process the video, and then it will let you choose the thumbnail image you want to associate with this video. I'll pick this one here. It confirms that the video has been imported, and the video shows in your video list. Web slides are useful when you want to display a particular web page. For example, we have a web page that cycles through our announcements. Let's look at how to add a web slide. We'll click on the Web Slides tab, and then click on the green plus sign. Here we are asked to give a title for our website as well as the web page's address. I'll name this Announcements. And then I'll enter the address of the web page here. With that done, I'll click Add. And you can see that the website is now in the box here. I'll load it up, and the web page is displayed. You also have the option of importing songs into ProjectOn. By choosing the File menu and selecting Import, you can see that we can import from the OpenLP projection program, from CCLI's Song Select service, if you subscribe to that. We can import a ChordPro file. We can import an OpenLyrics file, which is a common format that many other programs can export to. Let's start with importing from OpenLP. If you've been using OpenLP, ProjectOn can import your entire song library from OpenLP. Start by clicking on File, then Import, and then Import Songs from OpenLP. A window will pop up asking for your OpenLP database. This is stored in the App Data folder of your user folder. So we'll click Load File. And then the easiest way to get to your App Data folder is to type in, at the top here, %, then App Data, all one word, then %, again. Press Enter. From here, scroll down until you find OpenLP. And double-click that. Then we want to get into Data, and then Songs. In there you'll see a file called songs.sqlite. Select that and click Open. With that selected, click Start Import and it will process all of your OpenLP songs. And now you see that all of those songs are now showing in the songs list. If you have a subscription to CCLI's Song Select, you can import songs from there. Let's go again to File, then Import, and import songs from CCLI Song Select. Now, since I'm not a big software company and can't afford to pay CCLI's fees, we don't have access to their database directly, but we can access song lyrics through their website, which opens in this window here. Now, ProjectOn will securely store your username and password in an encrypted file so that it will log you in automatically. Enter that information here. Confirms that your credentials have been encrypted and saved. We'll just hit OK. Now we'll log you in automatically. Now that we're here, let's add the song Days of Elijah. We'll search for it here. And there it is. Now that we found it, we're going to want to follow the instructions that you see at the top of the screen, which say click Download in the Lyrics tab to import the song. So we'll click on the Lyrics tab here. Then we'll click on this icon to find Download. Once we click that, ProjectOn will grab the lyrics, and you can see that the song is now in your list. You'll need to go through tagging each part of the song and setting in song order like we did before. You might have some songs in the ChordPro file format. Those can be imported into ProjectOn as well. Under File and Import, we'll click Import a ChordPro song. Here you have the option of importing a single song or an entire directory. You might have many ChordPro files in one directory, so you would choose this option. But let's just do one file for now. Click OK. And a file browser pops up where you can locate your file or folder. I'll click on My File, and then click Open. And there it is in my list. Importing songs from the OpenLyrics format is essentially the same. You choose that option from the File menu, Choose whether you're importing one file or a folder full of files. Select your file. Click Open, and there it is. There are some settings in ProjectOn that you may want to change. You can access these by clicking on the settings icon here, or by choosing Settings from the Tools menu. At the top of the settings window is a place to enter your CCLI license number if you have one. This is helpful as it will automatically add your license number to the footer of all song slides. This next area is where you can select which screen attached to your computer you want ProjectOn to use as the display screen. In many setups, your projector is either mirroring your second monitor or is acting as your second monitor. So if the program doesn't automatically choose the correct display, you can change that here. Following that is the area where you can set the global font face, size, and style, which is the same as what we covered in the Building a Service section of this video. But in addition to that, you can also set the size of the font on your stage display. Decrease this if your lyrics tend to overflow the screen, or increase it to make the words easier to see. We'll get into what this stage display is later. Following that is an area where you can set the default background for your songs, for your Bible passages, and also set the image you want shown when displaying the logo screen. For example, I have a welcome image that I like to display sometimes, so I'll select that from here. In this area, you can also import into or remove from ProjectOn background and logo images. Clicking here will bring up a file browser where you can choose the image you want to use as a background. And clicking here, you can choose which background you want to remove from ProjectOn. Note that your background or logo images should be the same size as the resolution of your projector. For example, if your projector displays in 1920 by 1080 pixels, your background images should also be 1920 by 1080. This will prevent distortion and pixelation, which happens when an image has to be resized to fit your display. Finally, click on Save to save your changes, or Cancel to undo your changes. While ProjectOn is running, a web server also runs in the background. This web server has 3 different web pages that can be accessed by any device connected to the same network as the computer that's running ProjectOn. 2 of the web pages are remote controls, a standard page and a page optimized for mobile devices. And the 3rd page is a stage view. The remote control pages allow you to control your slideshow from another computer or mobile device. And the stage view presents a simplified display of the text currently being shown. This is helpful if you have a monitor your musicians can read lyrics from. To locate the URL for these pages, select the Help menu and then click About. At the top of this window are the URLs for the standard and mobile-friendly remotes, as well as the stage view. Typing these URLs into a web browser will access these pages. Let's see how that works. Here, I've got a complete service loaded up. Clicking Help, and then About, I can see that the address for the standard remote is http://192.168.0.19:15171/remote. Going to my browser, I'll type exactly that into the URL bar. What comes up is a web page where you can control the slides for your worship service. Clicking or tapping any of these items will send that item to live. These arrow keys here will navigate from one slide to the next, or from one order of service item to the next. At the top are buttons for blanking the screen or showing the logo screen. The URL for the stage view is the same, except that instead of remote, the last part is stage. Bringing that up, you can see that as we navigate through the service, slide titles and lyrics show as simple white text on black background.